I ain't heard him say that stuff nasty. Why you doing none of that? And maybe it's because, like I said, I'm getting educated on it. So I share the information with him. I let him know what effects it has on the bodies, why the symptoms we're having, what foods do, what this food won't do. And we both are just letting it go. And it feels so good. How can two walk together except they agree? That's not just in your religious beliefs or in your biblical beliefs, or that has a lot to do with money, finances. You got one who wants to spend everything, one who wants to hide everything. How can you walk together if you don't agree? You're going to always have some issues. One who don't want sex, one who always wants sex. How could two walk together except they agree? It's in many areas of life. Compatibility goes further than just your religious beliefs or what state you want to live in or how many kids you want. It's very deep. And that's why I do these relationship, tips and stuff like that, because how many of us have taken the least amount of time developing and preparing to go into one of the most important relationships besides the relationship with yourself and God, relationship with your children, is the relationship with the person that you got to spend the rest of your life with. But we spend so much more time and energy and preparation on everything else in life except for that. And so I think it's time for us to teach the new generations and the next generations to take better care with the decisions that they're making as far as who they're spending the rest of their life with. Because it affects your life. It affects your health. Like I said at the beginning, bruh, you still talking about your first, and you was married to her when you was 20, 25, and you 65 now. There's just a little bit of something wrong with that. Okay? And yeah, man, I get on the women because we got issues too. He hurt you when you was 17. He took advantage of you when you was 21. He cheated on you when you was 25. You 65, and every man since then had to pay for it. We gotta forgive. We gotta let go of this stuff. We're not hurting them. Then you really pissed because you see the person who quote unquote hurt you or offended you or took advantage of you, right? And their life seems to be blossoming and going and thriving. You know why? Let me help you out. Because they not harboring nothing in their heart against you. You're hurting and hindering yourself in your own life. Your unforgiveness doesn't stop them. Because, newsflash, just like on the cross when Jesus says, Father, forgive them for they know not what they did, 90% of the time, and I know you're not going to believe it and you don't want to, but it's the truth, they don't even know what they did to you. They don't even see what they did to you in the way that you see it. Because they're seeing it from a different experience. They're coming from a different place in life. 90% of people who have hurt other people is because they were themselves hurt. Sorry, y'all. My bestie texting me. They're not hurting you because they have nothing else to do. They're not hurting you because they purposely want to hurt you. They truly want to love you. One of the books I'm working on now, The Narcissist. They don't want to be the way they are. Nobody wants to be held captive or be everybody wants to be free to love and live and be happy. They are the way they are because they have been hurt. Because they have come through some stuff. Because they still holding on to some things and some beliefs and have gripped them. Have you ever took time with the person who hurt you before they hurt you? Do you realize or know what their life was as a child? Have you ever looked back and thought, how was their relationship with their parents? Did they have parents? How was their first marriage? How, you know what I'm saying? Somewhere, someplace, they were scarred. And they still have not gotten over it. That part. So they don't understand and realize what they're doing to other people. As you have not got over them, and you don't realize what you're doing to your children or your spouse now, or your boss at work, or your neighbor. Everybody else is paying for what that person did to you 5 weeks, 5 years, 10 years, 20, 30 years ago. Other people are still paying for that because you haven't forgiven them. And because you're not bold enough to go back or to see, you're mad at yourself because you didn't address it when it was done. You're upset because you feel guilty for allowing it to happen, because you loved harder and more than they loved you. And so now everyone who comes in contact with you has to pay. And you're not doing it purposely. You're not doing it consciously. You don't realize it. But that negative emotion that you feel every time your husband say something or do something, it ain't got nothing to do with him. If you would free yourself from that past experience or encounter, stuff now, that littlest things that tick you off wouldn't even affect you. That's how you know. That's one good reason to know if a person is living from past experiences in life. Relationships. We wonder, and counselors and psychologists and therapists, people go counseling all the time and they be trying to figure this out. But I guess I done figured it out. It ain't the toothpaste cap not being on it, the toilet seat being up or down, leaving the light on in the bathroom, not emptying the trash cans. All of that has nothing to do with that, nor the person doing it. You don't even care when you are completely set free. And I'm speaking from experience. When you are completely set free from stuff, little stuff like that does not affect you, because in the big scheme of things, that is so minute. That is like a piece of dust on the top of a counter. One speck of dust. Now, if that one speck of dust is irritating you, it's because you got something going on from your past that you need to let go of. Which takes me back to what I always say. We got to, from the inside out. We got to go in. When you feel that negative emotion, when you walk in the bathroom and he done left the toilet seat up, and you just, your whole insides, you act as if somebody just done stole $30 from you or $150 from you. Or somebody just done, your beautician just done put the wrong color dye in your hair. Like, you feel that type of anger emotion, right? It's because you need to take a step back and go back and analyze what's going on with you. Why do you feel this way? Why are you angry? Because your husband left the toilet seat up. Why do you feel disrespected? Think about it, ladies. Why do you think that is disrespect? Or why do you think that is uncalled for? You leave it down every time you go. Who said? Where is it written that the toilet seat has to be down? Because I'm going to tell you, when I go to the restrooms, the women restrooms in public places, right? When the cleaning people clean them, and these are not men cleaning, these are women. When they clean the restrooms and you go in every morning, for 24 years, I would go into a place to work. And when I would go in, every toilet seat would be up. And in my mind, that's how I knew they cleaned. And no one had used it since they cleaned it. So you mad at them? You go to work pissed because you go in a women's stall and the toilet seat is up? Laugh, y'all. But then you go home. At work, you just politely get some tissue or something and pull it down and say, oh, good, it's clean. But at home, you start World War 2021 when your husband do it. Why? There's something behind that. You need to figure out why. You need to forgive yourself, and then you need to let that go. I don't think I've ever had that. That's never been a thing with me. Even growing up. And I lived in a house with my grandfather. I lived in a house with my dad. I lived in a house with my brothers. Because I understood they were men and they had to pee and they peed different than I did. So they left it up. So when I would go pee, guess what I would do? I would just put it down. Point blank. I mean, is that entitlement? Is that prima donna, do this for me kind of? I don't know what it is, but that one thing I could say has never really affected me. Not once have I went to my son and said, look, when you use the restroom, when you finish, you make sure you put this toilet seat down. I've never said that. And I never will. He's a man. I don't expect him. His mind doesn't think like I do because he's not a woman. So he's not thinking about the seat being down unless he's going to dookie. Sorry. But I'm just saying. Or unless he's an older man dealing with some issues down yonder. The older they get, you ain't going to have that problem, ladies. Just let me know. I'm going to just let you know. If he's still leaving it up, when he get older, if he haven't been healthy, that prostrate going to do something to him and he'll be sitting on the toilet just like you are. I'm not being funny. I'm being serious. So you ain't got to worry about it. But in the meantime, you going to let your blood pressure and your heart and your issues and your stress level go up over something that is really just pick your battles, ladies. You must pick your battles. It's not that deep. It's not that serious. Why do you get angry? I remember a time I did it. I cleaned the bathroom and, and I wanted, look, I done cleaned the bathroom, right? Everything's spotless, spick and span. Then they come in, they do what they do. They comb their hair, they cut their hair, they do whatever. When you train a man he's under the impression that you are the cleaner of the house, guess what? He's going to expect you to do the cleaning. Let's ring the bell on that. Wake up, ladies. He's not going to go in, clean. You go in the bathroom, you clean a sink, spotless, sparkling. He comes in, he sees a clean sink. He's like, cool, I can get ready. He gets ready, leaves everything everywhere because he knows his wife is going to clean it. If you do not want to be the maid, then you need to have a conversation. Which you should have had this before you married him. I'm just saying. But you need to have a conversation and say, look, when I clean, I expect you to come behind and clean up after yourself. I am not your maid. And if that's your life partner, you should be able to have that conversation. I feel disrespected when you do that. If he does not care, if he just, throws it off or whatever, then that's up to you whether you continue to clean or not. See, you get angry, we get angry at stuff, but you have a choice. That could be your last straw. You can say, okay, you got 2 more times to do this and I'm done. Because I'm not cleaning up after a grown man for the rest of my life. He could take you serious or he can't. And if you serious, he'll come back home one day and you'll be gone. But I'm just saying, like, you mad at yourself. That's really who you're mad at. You're not mad at what he's doing. You're mad at the fact that you are allowing this to happen.